Yes, we're talking fighting right now, hence the outfit. I'm just back from the gym and I thought it'd be appropriate for this type of video anyway. But yeah, talking fighting, Misfits 4 to be specific. KSI versus Faze Temperrr card Saturday night. Let's run through it. So yeah, first up we got Faith Ordway versus Elle. Elle.'s previous fight was against AJ Brooker. She won that fight. It was a bit messy, as you have with boxers of this sort of level. It's not the most technical affair. AJ's head was like always leaning back when she was trying to throw punches, which is just not ideal. But Elle toughed it out and she got the job done, but she didn't used to look great on pad. She's gotten a little bit better and she has a bit of power in her right hand anyway. Faith Ordway looks good, you know, especially on pads. Just the way she moves a bit like an athlete, a bit like a boxer. From her talking in interviews, she's basically just kind of learned the basics for this camp to get through this fight and then maybe progress even more after this fight. But yeah, she moves like a boxer. She moves more fluidly than Elle, I think, anyway. She's a lot taller as well, so if she can pop that jab, keep her at range, because Elle will, as a shorter fighter, she'll probably look to, you know, duck inside, body shots, maybe overhands, a bit like the short fighters usually do. But yeah, from the training footage, I'm liking the look of Faith Ordway. I don't think she's fought before. This is her first fight. Of course, with the first fight, the nerves and whatnot, she said she's been flawless so far, no nerves at all. But she predicts herself that she probably have nerves when she's walking up to the ring or whatnot. Elle's been here, done it before. She's won a fight already, so she'll know how to get through the nerves and whatnot. And just that first experience, she knows how to do it now. Faith Ordway, on the other hand, has to deal with this whole new experience. Let's see how she handles it. If she handles it fine, I predict her to win. I just think her boxing fundamentals look a lot cleaner and a lot smoother as the bigger, well, she's not the bigger fighter, maybe muscle-wise or whatnot, but she's the taller fighter. She looks like she has a good jab. She looks like she can duck and weave well as well after throwing punches. Footwork is decent. So if she can stay behind that jab and withstand Elle.'s toughness. Elle.'s probably seems like the tougher fighter maybe. It's actually quite an interesting one, but I'm going to go with Faith Ordway on this one. Just the boxing fundamentals, and hopefully she uses her jab to keep her at range. So that's my prediction for the first fight. Second fight is Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor versus Idris Virgo, former Love Island contender, if any of you know him from that. Anthony Pretty Boy is the loudest guy at every press conference. He's the loudest guy in Misfits. He's constantly calling everyone out, apart from the guy who he's fighting. I watched a bit of footage on Anthony. He lost to Tommy Fury, but he beat Jack Fincham, another former Love Island contender. He must just have a pure hatred for Love Island contenders. Yet he calls himself Pretty Boy. He probably wants to be on Love Island, but yeah. Anthony Taylor's the shorter fighter. They're both boxers. Anthony Taylor is a former MMA fighter as well. I think he might still do that. So, as an MMA fighter, maybe not the most, I was going to say not technically sound, but just as Wade said before, I think on a commentary, just his style and movement, maybe just a little unorthodox to a boxer. If Idris Virgo can get used to those angles that Anthony Taylor may be coming in at, just get used to the unorthodox style of fighting. Although I watched some of Anthony's things and he looked more like the boxer when he was fighting Jack Fincham, but he loves to, you know, bob and weave when he's coming in, a bit like Mike Tyson, but he loves his hooks when he comes swinging in as well. He swings, bah, bah, bah. He loved that against Jack Fincham. Shots to the body, he loves those. His overhand right as well, he likes that too. I think he might be susceptible to a few uppercuts and just straight punches if he can land those straight punches while he's ducking and weaving on the way. And if Idris can land straight down the pipe whilst Anthony's bobbing and weaving his way in before he gets to him with his hooks, I think that could be a good method of damaging Anthony anyway. Idris will be the bigger fighter, probably the stronger fighter as well. So I see him winning this fight. If he wants to go down the Tommy Fury versus Anthony Taylor fight, it was just a bit of a brawl and Tommy just got the better of like manhandling him really. They were both kind of swinging for it, but Tommy Fury was just the more efficient boxer. He was just better at boxing really, and he was the bigger fighter as well, so he was able to impose himself with his shots, kind of knock Anthony before he got into him. And he just does duck and weave when he's coming in. He's very low, so you're constantly going to have to be punching down on him. Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor, loud mouth, but he's not going to get it done this time. I'm going with Idris Virgo on this one. Ryan Taylor versus Swarms is fight number 3. Swarms was rubbish last fight, we all know that. He knows that. He says he's improved lots this camp. I've not seen many training clips from him. He said he'd lost a lot of weight, but then I've seen, like at the press conference, I was expecting him to be ripped, but then in an interview he pulled up his top and he's still got a bit of something there. But he's up against Ryan Taylor, who is a much bigger guy, if I'm not mistaken. Last fought Slim. He looked decent against Slim. Slim obviously looked like the more technically slick boxer or whatnot, but Ryan Taylor has some hell of a chin on him. Swarms is adamant that his right hand will be able to crack him, and that his right hand has got mad power in it. Mad power in his right hand from the madman, he says. But yeah, Ryan Taylor, I think he's just as strong, if not stronger. He's a bigger dude. He got the best of Slim sometimes. Well, not the best of him, but he had him hurt a good couple of times. That could have been paired with Slim's fatigue as well. But yeah, he stayed in there against Slim's, and I think if you stay in there against Slim, you'll be able to stay in there against Swarms. And I think Ryan Taylor's been doing it for a lot longer now, so he should be more technically sound. I think he'll have more power than him. Just if he paces himself, I think he should get the job done over Swarms. Unfortunately for Swarms, the redemption won't be this time. Maybe he'll have to come back and maybe third time lucky, but I'm seeing Ryan Taylor winning this one just by pure strength and power and gritted determination, and Swarms' inability to get him out of there. I wonder would Swarms' head drop or not, but yeah, that's fight number 3. Fight number 4 is a mystery opponent versus B-Dave. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't even a clue who B-Dave is, but yeah, I definitely don't know the mystery opponent, so apparently it could either be, there was some rumours flying on Jay Swindler, was he one of them, or Alex Wasabi. I'm not sure KSI would let Alex Wasabi on another Misfits card, but that might just make the whole thing much more of a surprise. He's apparently in England, so yeah, who knows with that fight. Can't really say much on it because I don't know B-Dave either. Even if I did know the mystery opponent, I wouldn't be able to give you much on B-Dave, but yeah. That's fight number 4. Fight number 5, one of the better ones of this card, is Saul Pappy versus Josh Broikner. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I could have butchered that, but yeah. Saul Pappy, he's a bit of a sensation in this YouTube scene right now, especially in the UK. Josh Broikner, his last fight I watched, he was against Demore fella, who was just way bigger than him, very unorthodox, so it was quite a hard style for Josh to fight against. He got the job done mainly due to Demore's fatigue and just not knowing where the hell he is. Apparently he said he was seeing 3 of Josh, but yeah. Josh moves like a boxer, although yeah, he's been fighting for a while, so he's one of the more technically fluid and sound fighters on this card and in Misfits as a whole. He himself's looking at Logan Paul and KSI in future bouts after he predicts he beats Saul Pappy. Saul Pappy, as we know, has got form, he's got technique, he's got a good slip and counter punch, we all know that. That's what he used to destroy Halal Ham anyway. And then that knockdown of Andy Worski, yeah. The knockdown of him was so sweet, the left hooks were brilliant, yeah. But I'm thinking this fight he may just picked off more than he could chew. Are they in the same, I'm surprised they're in the same weight class, to be honest. Google says Saul Pappy's 5'6". Oh, I'm not too sure about that. And it says Josh Broikner is 6'1", so that's a big size difference. Josh Broikner is a jacked up dude as well. I know a jacked up dude doesn't mean much, but he's also technically sound at boxing. He's fluid in his movements. He moves like an athlete, but so does Saul Pappy. And Saul Pappy has been on this mad weight loss transition. I'm wondering should he keep some of this weight on for this fight, because since he's only been fighting fighters that have been technically rubbish so far, and up against Josh now, who's a bit more technically sound. I've said that way too many times now, but will this just be the straw that broke the camel's back? I think that's the saying, but yeah, you know what I mean. Is he just biting off more than he can chew? I'm not too sure. I'm really looking forward to it. It'll probably be the most technically sound fight of this card. Saul Pappy's used to countering as well. He's gonna, with a bigger, taller guy, he's gonna have to get in the inside, and wouldn't be surprised with landing overhand rights. Is that Saul Pappy's game? Who knows? Body shots to open up the head. That's what I'm expecting from both fighters, to be honest. Josh Broikner is going to have to fight down this fight rather than swinging up top as he did in the last fight. So yeah, going to be interesting. But I like Saul Pappy, but Josh Broikner just being the bigger man, and he's technically sound. He's not like Saul Pappy's previous opponents. I'm gonna go with Josh Broikner in this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if Saul Pappy got the job done. So yeah, it's fight number 5. Slim versus Tom Zanetti is fight number 6. This is the co-main event. Slim, obviously the more technically proficient boxer. Even Tom Zanetti said that himself when they were doing an interview together. Zanetti said he's just gonna be a dog in there. Zanetti just, is looking for a scrap. He's going to be swinging like mad. He's going to be toughing it out, basically. He'd want to be fit as a fiddle. He'd want to be able to press and haunt him. Because that Slim we seen last fight, he fatigued a bit, so if he can wear Slim down fitness-wise, maybe that's one way to victory and maybe a points decision. But yeah, he's going to have to be a dog in this fight. That's basically what he said himself, because Slim said, I'm technically the better boxer. And Zanetti was like, yeah, I know it. I'm just going to make this an absolute scrap, which could be a feast for the eyes, or it just could end up he could end up flat in his face. Like, Slim likes to counter punch, as we know as well. So yeah, Slim, he's got some awkward movements as well that Zanetti wouldn't be used to. Bringing in fighters that mimic Slim's movements, maybe that could be hard to prepare for, but as he said, he's not technically well. He's just coming in for a scrap and to make it a dog fight, basically. And there was a bit like Slim's last fight against Ryan Taylor, a bit of a dog fight, which showed some holes in Slim's game. Maybe that's what he's seen, and that's maybe where he's getting his confidence from. But it's Slim easy win, I think. Round 2, I think Zanetti dogs it out in the first round. He makes it back to the stool, but I think Slim will get it done in round 2 by knockout or TKO or throwing the towel or whatnot. But I'm going Slim by finish in round 2. Fight 7 now is the main event. KSI versus Faze Temperrr. Originally supposed to be Dillon Danis, but he pulled out, the fool. But yeah, Faze Temperrr, I think it's a better fight for the crowd, the audience anyway. I think it's a harder fight for KSI. I thought KSI would have probably smoked Dillon Danis, as even Dillon Danis knew that. That's why he pulled out. He thought it was because he didn't have a team. He didn't have a team for ages, and he went on Ariel Helwani's show and said he didn't need one for him. So if he didn't need one 2 weeks before the fight, why pull out in 10 days notice? He's just looking for clout, like. But less about him, the better. Faze Temperrr steps in, a much better fight, a different style of opponent for KSI. Faze Temperrr is what, 6'3" or something like that? He's well over 6 foot. I think he's like 6'3" or something. KSI 5'11", although he loves to say he's 6 foot. But yeah, it's gonna be, it could turn into a whole Logan Paul situation again, just swinging windmills coming back out, swinging for the hills, as we've seen kind of in his last 2 fights against Swarms and Pineda, just because of their unorthodox style. That's how he was able to land his right hand to the back of the head. Yeah, Pineda did not like them shots, but to the side of the head. Yeah, I'm expecting KSI to be technically sound at the start, but with that range and with Faze Temperrr's reach, who also is good at evading. Faze Temperrr's got good footwork, so it's going to be hard for, well, maybe not hard, but maybe could be difficult for KSI to get at him. And that might bring out KSI's swinging right hands, and we might see a return of the windmill like KSI was doing against Logan Paul. But KSI's footwork and angles look good in his boxing footage that's been uploaded to YouTube. So yeah, he looks very quick, he looks powerful. He's obviously doesn't have as much power as he did when he was heavier, but he's very light now, like going up against Faze Temperrr, who looks quite lean as well. But yeah, this is an interesting one just because the short notice, in case I wasn't preparing for someone like this. I wonder who Faze Temperrr was preparing for, or what kind of style he was preparing for, because he was supposed to be fighting a mystery fighter, I remember, as well. But yeah, I'm wondering, is this a step too far for KSI? Faze Temperrr is a decent boxer. He's had a couple of fights now. Yeah, he lost to Slim 2 fights ago, but he got back on the horse and knocked out, I don't know who he was, to be honest. He looked a bit average. He didn't I only seen the knockout, and he just didn't look like a boxer, so to say. He knocked him out with a nice 1-2 while he came in just open. His opponent came in just open faced, no hands up. Faze Temperrr with a nice 1-2 down the barrel to knock him flat on his back. So yeah, I don't know if that was a true test of Faze's nature, but I'm sure this KSI fight definitely will be. But I'm gonna have to go with KSI in this one. Just the storyline, you know, he needs to get to Jake Paul, and he should be going through at least Tyron Woodley or Slim next. Although they're looking at Joe Fournier, I'm not too sure on him. I haven't watched much of him, but I hear he's a 9-0 undefeated boxer. But yeah, maybe a little bit heavier than KSI as well. But yeah, I'm going KSI by decision on this one. I don't think he'll knock out Faze Temperrr, and that'll just make the Slim fight a bit more interesting, and Slim will be able to antagonize him about it. So yeah, I'm going KSI by decision. Do you know what I hate? I hate how they're even rounds. It's like you're just begging for draws against when the opponents are evenly matched, because you just win 3 rounds each, just end up in a draw. Just make them 7 or 5. It's just stupid, I think. But yeah, I'm going KSI by decision, especially if it goes to the decision. KSI's promotion I'm not saying anything's dodgy now, but am I just playing judges' minds? But yeah, those are my fight predictions for the Misfits 4 card. Yeah, my first fighting video. Tell me how you like it. I'll be doing a UFC predictions for 2023 next week. That'll be up then. But yeah, until next time, like, comment your winners of this card and subscribe. Peace.